It's wieder live.
So is it running?
Yes.
You can start.
So I just saw that the internet broke. I hope you can see me again. It was a perfect point when it happened. It's out of my control. It is. So I hope you can see me again. Okay.
Yeah.
So this routine, what I have to tell you honest, there are two possible outcomes. One outcome is the outcome you just saw a minute ago, and it means that your participant indeed finds the name, the person she wrote down, and which is great. And then you can, if you want, even prove that she found the business card where she put the name on it. The second outcome is, it looks basically the same, but you could not immediately show that she indeed found the person which means something to her. You could do it later, but the advantage would be that during this routine you would learn the name she wrote down. So she would eliminate 4 envelopes. You show that on the 4 envelopes, inside the 4 envelopes are only the 4X, and then you will say, okay, that means you found indeed the person you were thinking of, and you could prove that later too, that she did. The advantage is that you know the name, and they say, okay, now please don't say a word, I try to read your mind. Think of that person, and of course don't tell her the name she's thinking of immediately. You do it like it is a person. I see a person, just visualize this person. I have the feeling this person, it is older than you. Yes, it's true. It is. I get the feeling that she belongs to your family. Yes. I don't know this person. No. Is this your father? No, it's female. Are you thinking of your mother? Yeah. Is the first name of your mother Elsa? She will be shocked. And then you prove that it is Elsa. So let me now explain you how it's done. I just take 4 envelopes, 5 envelopes again. You would have more. And what I use are 4 of my business cards. And I have on the back of my business cards only a little slogan. So that it's clear, here's my address and you have a little slogan. And one of my business cards actually is like a double-faced card, so it has no address, it has the slogan on that side, and it has a slogan on that side. So what I additionally do, I'm explaining you in a moment why, that I make a little dot here above the slogan for a reason you will understand in a moment. So I try to show you the little subtleties which I think are important. So I have 4 of my ordinary business cards. Actually, you could have the X on it before you start. Normally I prefer to do it during my performance, but it doesn't matter, it's no big difference. And this business card has already from the beginning an X on it. So this is part of the preparation. You have 4 ordinary business cards. You have this business card which has no address side. I have already an X on it. And as a little mark, the dot. So when I show my 5 business cards, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th one. The X orientated like my business cards, the address on it. Of course, this side still does not have any name on it. So when I talk about the 5 business cards, I just take the first one. It's not like proving, it is like more toying, but I want that everybody realizes that I really just use 5 business cards. Ordinary business card is the second one, let's see the third one. Now and here, of course, I could not do like this, but what I do is I just shift this a little bit back so you see that you really have 5 business cards. And I put them again together, and I would tell them, I will tell them, but I said okay.
Yep.
I will tell them that in a moment we are going to mark 4 business cards with an X, and on one I will ask you to write down the name, the first name of somebody who means something to you. And I just shift the top business card to the bottom, and I turn over the entire stack. Now I take my pen and I just make one X here. So now the second one, the name of course still not on it. I say, okay, 1 we leave blank for you. And now I do just a little thing, it's like an Orwell move from Edward Marlowe. I just do this while I talk. So you see the sides, and then I just do them here. Do it again. I said, oh, this one we leave blank, so you can fill in a name later, and it looks like they have seen also the back of this one. So last time you just go like this, and then I fill in this. The next one, I just shift them like that, and then I do something which should look like what I have done before. So I just, and I say, okay, now they got the X, and then I just do this and through them here. So they got the feeling they have seen both sides of all 5 business cards. So I have the participants at the table, they help me, and the only thing important is that I show them, and I just go first, that I put the business cards with the X face down, so they put it like this, and you still can see in the orientation of the business card. So they all go like this in the envelopes. You can help them, or you seal them and so on, and they seal it. So now I talk to my participant who is thinking of somebody, and I make sure that nobody knows this person, and that we don't see what you write down, and we look away, and please, this gives you a motivation. It doesn't really make sense, but it sounds logical. Just that you shift this card partly in it, so that she does not see that, the X on the back. And you said, just write the name down and shield it a little bit with your hand, and then you push it in completely. Then she will do this, and seal it. So now they can mix the 5 envelopes. I don't see them right now, and put them on the table. Just to make it clear, I just leave this out. Here is the name, so we know it. They mix. This is just to explain how it's done. Let's say, of course, you don't know where the name is, but to make it clear in the explanation, you see, I just leave the flag like that, so you know the name is here. Now, 2 things can happen. Whether it is what just happened a moment ago, that she indeed eliminates all 4, and this is important. If you cut them open, just make sure that all the envelopes stay like this on the table. That means this is the address side. It is not the side where you would see the flap. Because now, if you open the envelope by cutting it, and this is still the address side, and you take it out, you always get it out with the X. Because they put it in like this, and you put it on the table later like this, and you cut it open here. This is the address side, and when you open it, you see the X. And of course you can flash also this side while talking, so that you found somebody. This does not mean anything to you. So you go step by step. If this really stays until the end. She indeed found her name, and it is again the same. You to prove it, you should. This is the only exception. You would not always. This concerns always the last envelope, because she wrote the name on the business card and then shifting the business card into it. So you open it like that. Not from the address side. And this we will do also in case it goes the opposite way. So I'm sure you got the idea. She finds it. You always open from the address side, and if she really found her name, the last envelope, if you want really to prove that she found the name, you do not open from the address side, because then you actually get it out the way she put it in. Okay. Now let's go to the case that, which most of the time happens, that she does not really eliminate the correct envelopes. So at a certain point, let's say this is okay, and you open this from the address side, you cut it open. Then we'll see the X, and now you come to this one, and you don't know that the name is on it. But as you open from the address side, here, what I always do is this, is why I had a little dot here on top. This is the double-faced business card. So whenever I reach into it, I look, before I pull it out immediately, if I see the dot. If I see the little dot here, I know, attention, this is the double-faced business card. So then I pull it out, and this is the only business card I cannot flash from the back, because, of course, there is the name. But it looks like that she found another X envelope, while at the same time I can read the name and I commit the name to my memory. And then I even, of course, I can not flash like the other one accidentally while I talk. I do like this. So you found another X, I read the name and I put it here, and I know the name. And now I continue, so it would stay on the table like this, all X. I know that's the name, and whatever she says, I always cut open from the address side. I open it, I take this out, and say, oh, again, you found another X. So obviously, and it's absolutely logical, her name must be in this. So now you could start your mind reading. First, you congratulate her that she actually eliminated 4 envelopes with the X and just left over the envelope with the name on it. And now you start your mind reading. If you want, you even can show later that this actually contains her name, which of course is not the case. It is a sort of clean up, which I normally don't do, but I want to show you how I do, in case I want to do. What I normally do is say, it means this is the person you're thinking of. You eliminated 4X, and this one is left over. Great. And I just put this envelope away. Put it in my pocket, and I ask, may I keep it as a souvenir of my performance? Okay, you put it in your pocket, and then you do the mind reading. In case you really want to clean up and to prove that this contains the name, then I show you what I do. First of all, I just put these 4 away and put them in my hand, and on top I have the double-faced business card. So what I do now is I open from, again, not from the address side, the last one, we always, on the last one, always, I open from the non-address side, because now what I pull out is this. On the back I have an X, this is why I put it out like this. And I just put it on top and say, while I talk, blah 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 blah, and then maybe I would like to see how you wrote the name, because your handwriting tells me a lot. So it's not really a move. So I do 1, 2, 3, and then I just turn this over. I said, oh yes, I think the way you wrote it, it looks the same. It looks the way it should look, because you have the 4x here. Let's go here. So you have this, and everybody thinks on the back is the name she wrote. And now I do 1, 2, 3, and I turn this over, and then I can talk about the name, and I still will ask her if I can keep it as a souvenir. And this looks exactly the way it should. Of course, now I have this card here. This, as a little last remark again, what, how I do this 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody who knows Roberto's job is card college knows that. So what I actually do is I show it from here. I do 1, so I just shift it with my thumb. Then this goes on top. 3, and then I take my ring finger, and then I got 2 cards together. And if you do it in a continuous, non-stop motion, not even fast, it looks very, very natural. So do it a bit slower. So what I do is 1, 2, 3. And I just work with my fingers here, and then I turn over this one. Should be, of course, the right one. So this one is here. So I do 1, 2, 3, and then I got these 2 together that you don't see because they're just slightly fender. Turn it over, say, yeah, it is Elsa, whatever, and then I will ask if I can keep it as a souvenir. So this is my approach to All Gone of Barry Richardson, and I just call it the name. Thank you. Okay. Normally now, if it would be a lecture with many colleagues here, I would take questions, and unfortunately we can't, and cannot answer your questions right now. I don't look on the screen there. From here I can read it, but we have a laptop also over there. But if there are any questions, I will look into the Facebook group later and try to give as much answers as possible. So let's come to number 2, which I don't call the name, but simply names. Funny thing is, I showed this during last Magic Live in Las Vegas in my lecture, and it was amazing to see. I think that almost all 1,000 they saw it, 4 sessions, each one around 250. I don't remember that there was anybody who knew what I was going to do and how it's done. And what I'm going to do is now I show you the basic routine, because you could do it the way I do it now as a standalone, and then I give you a little idea. Let's look at my, I'm good in time. Then I give you some ideas, or one major idea, how I use it. Feel free to use it as well this way, and otherwise probably you have different ideas. Fine. So what actually happens is, again, that I like to explain my audience the plot, what I'm going to do, and I talk about mind reading. And of course I cannot come into the room, I look into your eyes and know already what you think, or you think of your haircut, no, you know, don't you, but shouldn't, and all we leave that now. But if somebody is thinking of something what is inside the room, let's say of a living person or something, and then it is probably possible to read minds, because we think of a common thing, of a person, for example, who we both experience in this room, and we both are somehow related to this person, and then it's possible, and I show you what I mean. So I take again a few of my business cards, and I distribute 6 into my audience. I don't say 6, I say I will give you 6, 7, 8 business cards to different people, and when I just go into the audience, and not too far away, and I hand 6 people, each one a business card, not a table, and at the same time each one gets a little golf pencil. I have this golf pencil with my name on it, and so I will tell them that they can keep afterwards, please, the pencils. I don't want them back, just the business cards later. And then I ask each person to write his first name on the back side of the business card. So I have prepared now these business cards with names, but normally I would not see the name, I would not know the spectators, but each of the 6 spectators will write down his first name on the back side of the business card. And then I will tell them, once you wrote down your first name, please turn the business card writing side down, because this is data protection. It's very important, big theme today. And just keep it writing side down and keep the pencils. And then I will ask another person, a 7th person, to collect in any order. I don't say in any order, this is just a technical aspect, just to collect now I say these 6, 7, 8 business cards. I don't say 6, because I want to give the impression that I don't care how many I gave out. But actually there are only 6, you will understand later why, because otherwise this would not work. So now one person, 7th person, is going to collect all the business cards, and I ask this person also to keep the business cards writing side down, so that even you don't know the names, you cannot read what they wrote down, and it is of no importance how he collects, just important writing side down. And then I ask this person to come on stage, and once this person is on stage, I will ask this person, while I look away, to mix these 6, 7, 8 business cards writing side down again between his hands until he has no idea which business cards belongs to whom. And then, and now I will ask Katrin to do it. I will ask this person just to take one of these business cards without looking at it and put it in your pocket, so that even you don't know which name you put. And the remaining business cards, you just give them back to me. I don't look. Everything is data protection. When I turn around this way, not before. The only thing I ask you is to take out the business cards from your pocket, but not now. And once you have done it, just look at the name, remember the name, and put the business card back into your pocket. So I will turn away. The person will take out the business card and will look at the business card. Normally I always say, and another thing which I think is important is, in case you cannot read the first name, then probably you should try to take another one, okay? So, can you read it?
Yes.
Okay, so my handwriting wasn't that bad. Or the remaining business cards you can put on the table. Normally I put them in my waist pocket, so, but not immediately, don't run, because there is no need, because you can't see anything. Put them in my pocket or whatever, so okay. Now I will ask this person, you just learned a name, but most probably you don't know this person, you don't know to whom belongs this name. What I want now is that I will point to the 6, 7, 8 people, and they will say aloud their name, and when you hear the name that belongs to the person, which name you know until now, please don't give me any hints, stay poker face, and just try to visualize and to remember a few details of this person, which now becomes a personal thing to you, because until now you just know the first name, okay? So now I will ask the 6, 7 people, I know it is only 6, but I always stick to that. Please stand up, and when I point to you, please say aloud your name. And you don't give me any hints, just stay poker face. So now I will point, and Katrin will read out names, and so I point to this person.
Christina.
So, okay, this is the second.
Jan. Olaf. Moni. Otto. Michael.
Okay. Now I will ask this person, okay, now you know to whom the name belongs, right? And you know how the person looks like. Is this correct?
Yeah.
All right. And you must agree that I can't know anything. I don't know the names. I don't know which name you choose. I don't know which person you're thinking of. Okay. And now, please, of course, now I have to everything to pretend to do, because I actually don't know which name she's thinking of. I don't know which the person looks like, but we don't have here 6 persons in the audience. So I just do the way normally I would do. just, you know, the most obvious thing is it might be a female or it might be a male. Just think of it. I have a feeling you're thinking of a. Don't look into the audience. You remember this person, how it looked like. A few things. Okay,
Yes.
it is a male person. This is correct. Yeah.
Yes.
It is. There have been a few. I remember they've been quite young, between 20, 30. But I have a feeling this person. You think it put you to think of the age. Your estimation. Your estimation is somewhere between 40 and 50. This is correct. This is great. And there's already a little greyish hair. This person.
Yes.
And is wearing glasses, right?
Yes.
And okay, now please. And just think of the first name. I think you're thinking of Olaf. Is this true?
This is
Olaf.
true.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the effect, and it plays extremely strong. For some reason, sometimes it makes me smile, because the names that people say, and if I know the name, I know how the person looks like. But on the other hand, everything which is presented right now is so like under test conditions, because I just hand out the business cards and the pencils and I don't touch it again, and somebody else is collecting the business cards, somebody else is mixing the business cards, somebody else is putting one of the business cards in his pocket. The remaining business cards go away, and is still able to tell him which person he or she is thinking of. Okay. Now, the explanation, look at the one, how is the time? Yeah. Explanation is that I have etched, marked business cards, and it is old, you know, it is a principle you find in the table curse of magic, and normally it has been used a lot for playing cards. Oh, could I get the one? Okay. So, edge marking means that the marks are actually really on the edge, and what I do is I just show you, try to get the close-up view of it, that you get an idea. 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4, what is this? This is 5, this is 6. Okay. Edge marking means that the first business card got a black dot here at the edge, in this position. Got a black dot in this position. From the top, you would see. And then, because I don't care how they collect the business card, the business card gets also a dot at the bottom. So what you have actually to do is you turn it around, and then it gets a mark here. Now here the second one. The second one gets the dot here. We count from left to right. The first dot is here. This is the second business card which got the dot here. You turn it around, and so diagonally, so that they both got on the same. Okay, so we have the 2 is here, and then you shift it, and then you have the 2 also here. So, and so on. The third one gets the dot in the middle, you turn it, and it gets the dot on the middle on both sides, diagonally. The fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, gets it here, and then have it here, and diagonally 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And the fifth one, of course, I always orientate from the side with my address, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got the dot on this corner, and I turn it around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also here. So, when I come closer, and the 6th business card I hand out has no dot at all. So I will just centralize these 6 business cards between these which are not dotted, and I think that very clear you will see when I hold that to the camera that there are 5 dots. 5 dots or 5 black lines. If you look from that side, and now I go here, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it visible? Okay, and the same at the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So important is that when you centralize later on these business cards, and you look at the address side of the business card, and you look from the top, you see in a second which dot or which little short black line is missing, and then you know which business card she has in her pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or if you see all 5 lines, it means she has number 6 in her pocket. So in the beginning, I have the, of course, I have them on top. So this is 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, and this one is okay. This one has no dot. So I label my spectators. I label my spectators from 1 to 6. So I hand 1 to him. This is from my side. So I label from left to right. This is spectator number 1. I don't know his name, but I know this is number 1 because the second spectator is number 2. The third spectator is number 3. This is number 4. This will be number 5, and over there is number 6. So then it doesn't matter because you labeled the business cards on both sides. So this is number 4. So if I see my address 1, 2, 3, 4, it is here. If I turn it around 1, 2, 3, 4, it is the same. So if another spectator is going to collect these 6 business cards, it doesn't matter if he collects them this way or this way. It doesn't matter because we have the marks on both sides. The only thing important is that it is writing side down. And this is something I say very clearly. So he's going to collect in any order these 6 business cards. He can mix them writing side down, and he can take any one. Sometimes I even use 8 spectators. So one is collecting and another one is the person I'm going to read the mind, and he has to take one. And it doesn't matter, he takes any. And the remaining, I even don't really say that. The remaining we put away. What I do is I have a stack. These are approximately 10 business cards which are not marked. Just take about half, cut off half of them from the top. Just extend my hand, and then she puts it writing side down on these. I put these on top, which centralizes the 5 business cards. And now, while I talk, I don't look immediately. I look later when you go to your pocket and when you see my back and so on and so on, then all I do is I just, the moment I shift, I look, and now I would see it's number 4. I see number 4 is missing. It's already done. And then slowly I put it in my vest pocket or in my jacket pockets. I bring them out of the play. The only thing I know by now is that she has in her pocket business card number 4. And now she knows the name, but she does not know to whom the name belongs. And then I ask these 6, 7 spectators to stand up, and once they stand up, I will point to them, and they will say aloud their name. And I label them 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is Moni in this case, here, just because I made up the names before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know it's number 4, and when the 4th spectator says my name is Moni, I know, okay, it's Moni. And now she knows, she knew already Moni, but now she knows also how Moni looks like, and at the same time I learn, oh, I know the first name, it's Moni, very good, and I know how Moni looks like. And then of course all the rest what comes then. First I describe the person, because I learn everything during the routine. So for me it's sufficient to know which business card actually she got in her pocket to find out the name and how the person looks like. And you are so much ahead of the time, and you can really build it up very, very big. Okay, now very 2 remarks, how to prepare it, a little tip, and then how I actually use it, because I don't use it normally as a standalone effect. So I have here one of my business cards, and I just folded these business cards in half, not really completely in half, almost in half. And then I punched, I made, using a ruler, I made 5 little dots here, and then I punched, while the card still was folded, I punched holes in it. And when I reopen the card, now I have a card with 5 holes in it. And this card now, if I prepare a new business card, why I use this business card with a black border. I have also different business cards, I have 2 different issues. They got a black border because it makes the preparation so easy, and it makes it absolutely impossible to see that they are marked. So all I do is now that I put this on top, this folded business card with the holes in it, and now I take a Sharpie or whatever, and I just mark the first business card I mark here. Then I turn this over, and then I mark the opposite corner again 1. Then I take the second business card, I put it in, the second business card, then I mark here because I go to the second hole, I turn it around, and then I can also mark the opposite side and so on. So that makes life quite easy. So a few remarks how I use it, so probably don't have time to show you the gimmick I wanted to show you, but it doesn't matter. Is what I actually do when I use this system is a combination using Caesar's spirit bell, and the image and the build on stage is very nice because I will have a couple on stage, and she is asked to try to receive the thoughts of her husband. So the husband will think of a person in the audience, and while he thinks of the person, the name of somebody in the audience he were choosing before, then she will ring the bell. So it sounds like that we try to make audible her thoughts, and I even ask you to close the eyes. Important is, it is not that I don't make the bell ring, it is more I give the feeling that the right thing will happen to her, she will react on him, and it is quite spooky. So he thinks of a person, and he thinks of the name of the person, and obviously I don't know anything, and he stays there, and she stays over there, and with the eye closed, and I don't touch her, and she stays with the bell there, and I just point to the people, and when he hears the name of the person he was choosing, like let's say Moni, I asked him before that then he should say, yes, that's the person, and then she will react. I said, dum, 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 dum. This person says Moni, and this moment she rings the bell. And this is a fantastic effect. And I will ask this gentleman, were you thinking of Moni? Yes, it is, because obviously it's like I don't know anything. He thinks of Moni, and the wife reacts. And at the end, this is a little awkward. Even the bell rings only one time, not ding, 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 ding. It's not the bell, not the bell is the trick. She is reacting, and then I turn it over so he gets the bell in his hand, and I ask the lady to extend her arm and to pretend to have the bell still in her hand, and when I touch her arm slightly here, to make the little movement she did before. What a lie. But it is a reinforcement, because she hasn't done a move before, because I made the bell ring. But I will ask her, once I touch your arm, just make this little movement with your hand you have done before while you were holding the bell, which is of course a lie. And the gentleman, her husband, stays over there, and I will ask also him to close his eyes, and when I touch her arm, she does this movement, and this moment the bell rings one time over there. So basically it is sort of PK touches, with the additional strength that you even present something like strong mind reading, even if you don't do it, because everything you do does not concern that. Okay, little hint, of course the spirit bell works with the remote. This is the spirit bell of Cesar Alonso. Cesar was a magic, great guy, we're good friends, but this is not why I say it. I think it's a fabulous prop. And he made me one very small remote control, this one, which is very flat, that has 4 buttons, but all 4 buttons do the same. And I just have to activate the bell. Now it's activated, and whenever I touch one of the buttons, it will ring. What I do, because normally I'm this kind of guys with the little tattoos and mostly well dressed, that I wear a tuxedo, something, no, not tuxedo, but something really chic, and I have different suits, and I have it at my leg. And so what I have actually is this, what bicycle drivers or football players know. It is something, it is very tight, it stays on your leg like a second skin, and I just put it underneath my trousers. So even if I'm out of picture in a moment, I will look like this, but very tight, and this one goes in here, and it will stay here. So the nice thing is, it doesn't matter what I wear, I just go. If my hand drops here, it doesn't matter which tuxedo or which suit I'm wearing, my hand is always here, and I know if I just do this, the bell will ring. So this is a little tip if you really want to do it. So I know we are almost done, and I think the time is not really sufficient what I was going to show you, but I have a little idea. I show you what it is, and probably I can set up something with Luca in a sort of workshop, because I think it is extremely strong, and it is something you can use also in various routines, and I would like to give you also some ideas. I'm sure many of you know Ted Leslie, or at least a few Ted Leslie teleport envelope, which I was using many times. I made them by myself because I don't get two left hands, and if you have Ted's great book, Para Miracles, it is, I know it came out more than 20 years ago. There's a description of the so-called teleport envelope, and what I did actually is I have a different version which is far easier to prepare, and it is very innocent, and it looks nothing specific. What I really like about it is once you seal it, you reopen the envelope the same side you were sealing it. And I'll just give you a little example. I take one of these business cards. You see it is a smiley, and this is an ordinary envelope. So it's not even a pay envelope, and you can hand it out. There's nothing to see, and it can stay with the spectator. And he puts, let's say, this card into it. It looks like this. It says something. This is not hand drawn. I just got a rubber stamp who does that. And it is self-sealing, so you remember, he put this into it, and then he seals it. Self-sealing, you can seal it, and so it is even thick paper. It's nothing special. You can hand it to somebody else. The next person is going to use a pair of scissors. It is the same side we were sealing it, and he opens the envelope and just cuts it open here, and he can remove it by himself. And now you see it's a different card, and it does not look any suspicious, nothing. It's nothing to see. The paper is a bit thicker on this side, but it is normal because the flap is here. And now you just swap extremely cleanly one business card for another one. Actually, I have adaptations for where I even change 4 business cards against 4 different business cards, and maybe that is the theme, how to construct that. This is a sort more maybe of a workshop. And then I would give you also some ideas how to use it, because it is very useful. It is certainly a weapon which you should have in your arsenal. And to be honest, it takes you about, if you are slow, 5 minutes to prepare such an envelope which looks so very noble. Dear guys, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you could hear me. I hope you could follow me, and we will try probably to set up a workshop about this envelope and how to use it. I thank you very much for your attention. I will look up the Facebook group, Virtual Mental Convention, and if I find any questions you ask, or things you want to know, this is no problem. You will find my answers in the group. Thank you very much. Bye bye. That's Jan Forster from Germany.
Stay safe!